Good evening and welcome, and thank you for joining us for Nightsky Sanctum Season 2, Episode 3. We've had some technical difficulties, we could say, for sure, in the last couple of minutes. But we are up and live and excited and raring to go. Let's start out by introducing ourselves and their characters. And thank you for all the follows and subscriptions, by the way. Let's start with Morningstar.
Hello, darling. I am Morningstar, and I am playing Elise this evening. Elise is our Median psychic, so she's very human-like in appearance, and she uses mind magics to manipulate her way through situations. And she is thoroughly duplicitous, even towards her own coven mates, to whom she has not revealed some very important information on quite a few occasions.
The very, very true.
Mhm.
Let's hop over to Assailant.
Oh, well, I am Zilwin. I am playing Yarrow, who is a slightly mad alchemist satyr who recently decided to join the coven and is very attached to her new friends and pretty much doesn't want anything to hurt them and is a little bit too fiercely loyal. And now we're reckless and unstable, so we'll see what that brings us.
Perfect.
That means you fit in.
Yeah. You're getting the trauma of the crew. Megan.
I'm Megan, and I play Seth, a Nereid shapeshifter. They do shapeshifting animal magic to solve their problems. They're reckless, they're haunted, and they're becoming increasingly more interested with the shadow world.
And last but definitely not least, Anya.
Yeah, I'm Anya. I'm playing Hollis. She is a Gob Baba, which is a goblin-esque little person who is she is currently obsessed with bringing herself as close to death without dying or without being dead for very long as possible, as often as possible.
Yeah, gobs are just little guys.
They're just little
Just
guys.
little guys. Little different colored guys. Yeah. No worries if you're late. We were late too, so don't feel bad.
I
Right?
also want to apologize ahead of time. There is a really big storm outside of our house right now. It
Yep.
just started pouring, and we've been listening to thunder and lightning go for the last little bit. So if we drop out, we're going to do our best to get back as
Yeah.
quickly as possible.
Yeah. Yep. Thank you so much for that, Anya. Yeah, we're we are a little worried. It's a very unexpected storm, and it came on pretty strong. So, it's kind of a perfect match this evening with all the other technical difficulties. In addition to the technical difficulties that we've already mentioned, our dice bot has decided to stop working. So we're using an alternate dice system. So sadly, no three-dimensional dice rolling in your face today. Um, but it's gonna be a ton of fun regardless. So in our last session, I think in my opinion, you all pulled off like the heist of the century. Despite Yara's best effort to to mangle the situation, you all still did awesome, and it was hilarious, and so perfect in that way. And Elise and the rest of the coven got away with a very valuable artifact, a diadem that belonged to Phaedra, Elise's one of Elise's longtime rivals slash former coven mates, I would assume. Is that correct?
Enemy.
Frenemy.
Yes.
So, yeah, hopefully Dicebot will be back for by the time the next session rolls around. But
Wallace might have to resurrect it.
yeah.
Just add a plot to Hollis's graveyard.
Here lies Dice Spot. So, you have all been sort of laying low after that heist, and not showing off your newfound artifact. When Hollis's Baba senses begin to tingle, and let's see how powerfully they tingle by having you make a 4 dice fortune roll.
A 4 dice fortune roll. I have to remember where to go. Where did my mouse go?
And unlike normal, you can just shout out your results.
Yeah. Give me a sec. Sorry.
Okay.
I clicked a thing, rearranged all of my cameras. 4 dice.
Yep.
It's appropriate. We're witches. We can't use technology.
That's why we have so many technical difficulties.
It could be.
And
Okay.
you just want the highest?
Yep. For a fortune
All right,
roll.
I got a 6.
All right. So you immediately sense the pair of tiny feet that sets foot on your Coven's island. You notice that your sort of vision of what you see in your mind's eye has altered somewhat, and you you kind of put that up to the fact that Arcana has left your Covenstead. Apparently, she was adding a little something to your visions, and you weren't even aware that she was supplementing your senses. And you can tell she's gone, and there's sort of a empty feeling when you're looking out there. But you see a tiny hat-wearing gnomish type creature that is scurrying about on your beach just off the side of a little boat looking for a place to hide something. You feel him digging in the sand at the edge of the water.
I guess I will start walking in that direction and just kind of yell at everybody on the way out of the Covenstead, hey, there's somebody on the beach, and just head that way to see what it is. Or, I mean, to see what they're burying, anyway.
Being invaded by gnome.
We're getting gnomed.
As you crest the hill just outside of your Covenstead, you can hear some bells jingling as you see the tiny little butt of a gnome leap up into the boat that's several feet up, and his shoes jingle as he hits the deck. And you see him, or you hear him yelling, "Drive, drive!" And the boat kicks on and starts to speed away from you.
The mental image of this is somehow too hilarious.
And you can see what it is he left on the beach. There's a tiny glass bottle with a piece of paper inside.
Oh, they love me a message in a bottle.
Indeed.
I'm just imagining they're like saying drive, drive while also just in a rowboat.
Definitely not witches. They are driving a speedboat. But
imagining the gnomish laughter ringing off in the distance as they drive away.
As Mike of the Mist Games just said in chat, first time chatter, thank you for that. You got gnomed.
You got gnomed. Not gnomed and not gnobled.
You gotta pronounce that G. Yes, so was Hollis picking up that bottle?
Yeah, Hollis is gonna pick up the bottle.
Okay.
Take it
Um,
around, look at it, smell it, probably lick it,
ooh,
all the
so there is a little bit of blood at in the bottom of the bottle,
ooh. Okay.
and
Secret sauce.
God, is it the kids again? Do they kidnap the children once more?
Check on the kids.
and when you pull out the note, you see that it doesn't look like it was written by someone who writes in this language. It seems like it was maybe like chicken scratch, like copied over like line by line. Like it doesn't look like it was written by somebody who knows the language.
Okay.
They
But
put it in Google Translate.
mhm. Yeah, it just comes out weird.
Google.
Uh, but Gnote. You read the Gnote. Yeah, so the first thing you notice is that it is signed by the Red Caps.
The red caps.
The
Okay.
Red
The
Caps.
first thing
so
you
official.
notice.
And then you read upward at sort of the finer print. And it says that the blood in the bottom of this bottle is the poison that they need delivered, and that it goes to their former employer.
Oh no.
It must get in
Oh.
his food or drink.
Mm.
And you're like, why would we do this? This is and that's when you see an arrow that points to the back of the note, and when you flip it over, you see rubbed impressions of Hollis and Seth's Fey contract medallions.
Mm.
So
Dang.
looks like they are owed Fey contracts. They went out and went to the effort of purchasing your contracts from whoever else owned them, that they could have you take care of the job for
Because they know we know how to get in.
them. There's a good chance that they have an idea, yeah. So
Okay.
it is up to you how you handle it, from here. If you want to do taking of that manner,
What's your
or
proposal?
gather in.
If we kill all the red caps, we just take the tokens. Probably the safer option.
Is this a one horse-sized duck and like 50 duck-sized horses scenario?
The ducks are very angry. The ducks have been,
Mm.
Maybe we can find out what the poison is and then put the antidote in something else he's gonna eat. So we poison half of it and antidote the other half of it.
What? It's technically you're fulfilling,
Technically. Yeah.
and I kind of like these little guys, so I want to keep them
Yeah, I
around
like
and
them.
mess with them.
To the best of your knowledge, they were mistreated by Jack when they were minions, the extreme past, before they incorporated and left Shadow Dawn. But making Shadow Dawn an enemy, particularly Jack's Spider Stripe, is probably also not the best idea.
Not the best. Yeah.
Well, we could
I
put the
feel-
poison in the food, then pretend we're saving Jack, because we heard through the grapevine, and bring some antidote.
You just
Not
conjure
suspicious
it.
in the slightest.
Not suspicious at all.
I feel
Oh,
like doing
yeah.
the red caps dirty at this point, we'd essentially be like Union busting.
I do like the
Mm.
idea of then saving him, poisoning him, and then saving him.
He might give us a reward after.
Yeah, he could give us a reward.
And then we could go and steal a better reward from him.
Exactly.
If he's been hoarding rewards again, hopefully he learned his lesson.
Mm.
Yes. I mean, if you hoard rewards, next thing you know, the red caps are going to steal it. Particularly what happened.
Okay, let's see if we can analyze this poison somehow.
Okay.
Let's see. I have detect magic, so I guess I could try to see if it's a magical poison.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, what do you want to use for
Well, I don't want to eat it. So I will just use focus and concentrate really hard, kind of peering into the bottle and see if I can devise whether or not it's magical poison.
Do you want to take it to the shop?
Did I get a workshop?
I can't remember. I know you guys were on the fence.
Seth got a
We
workshop.
got a
Yeah.
shapeshifter
okay.
workshop.
Not
Oh,
me.
in
Not
that
yet.
case, Yarrow has a workshop that could get an extra die for anything there. But yeah, if you want to just do that here and just sort of get a feel for it, you can go ahead and make that roll real quick, and then decide if we need to take it in for further analysis.
Okay. I got A5.
Not too bad. Okay. Let's see. It is not coming back as magical.
Okay.
You're not getting any kind of like resonance off of. Sort of coming back. You just get the feeling that it's sort of it's a natural poison.
Okay. All right. I will take it back to the Covenstead and pass it off and see if anybody else can figure it out.
I'm
have
surprised
some
that Hollis is
experience with
restrained at this
poisons.
point, not to just huck it back.
I know. Me too.
I could die.
Bring you closer.
We probably should get the antidote first, and then, once we get that, we can get more of this poison, and you can just go to town.
I have enough drugs right now. I'm good.
Get him to town.
Yeah, I can probably take it to my workshop and do it and focus in on it and see if there's something I can maybe find in there.
Okay.
That way I could craft the antidote.
Right. Okay. So what would you like to do? How are you going to?
Yeah, so I go ahead and I pluck it. I'm just like, okay, let me see. It's like a little tiny bottle. I'm
Mhm.
like, well, all right. So I take it to. I have this fun little table, and it's got a little divot in it, and it has like all the arcane symbols all around it, and I put it in the little divot, and certain symbols light up, and we'll see if that actually tells me what it is.
The alchemy version of mass spectrometry.
Basically, there's like all the elemental symbols, and we'll see which symbols light up, what elements light up. Which is a
Hey.
complete success out of the
Alright.
6. So
Yeah, you get a lot of the same results that it appears to be fully natural in origin, not super.
Hmm.
It does have some elemental some tiny elemental pulls to it toward earth and things like that. But it's kind of, if you were to put a drop of your own blood in there, you'd probably get the same result or similar. Yeah, it's not coming back as anything unusual or magical. And you're not even sure if it's actually a poison at this, because you would sort of be expecting to see something, and you're not at all.
well, Yarrow's really reckless. Could she take a drop of it and just put it on her tongue?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see what would I roll for that.
Let's do a 0 die fortune roll. So 2 dice and take the lower of.
Oh, a 2.
Okay. Um. Do you have any type of shape-shifting abilities?
No.
I think your skin starts to harden and turn gray, and uh, feel like your heart rate slow down. Um,
Yeah,
that lasts about
Yaro's getting stoned.
getting stoned in their workshop. Oh, actually, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, because you're doing this in your workshop, that should have actually been 1 die instead. So we'll treat it as a 5 instead of a 2.
Oh, well, I'll take it.
So
So
you're not going to turn to stone immediately.
so within about 30 seconds, you start to recover. The recovery takes a lot longer than than it took for you to turn partially.
I'm shaking my head like, whoo, that's the red caps.
So maybe because it's meant for a fae, it's not going to read as magical the same way we would be looking for it to read as magical.
Yeah, I would say I would give that to you as part of your roll from earlier. That would make sort of figured out between. It most likely contains something that doesn't register as magic in the way that you know magic, but the Fey magic and Fey glamour, it's quite a bit different than that. It doesn't really respond the same way, and it doesn't respond the same way every time either. Sometimes you
Oh,
have to test multiple times, but it's assumed you tried it multiple times. How you got to.
I'm not sure we can make a antidote for that.
Yeah.
That is
But
also
we might be able to purchase one.
Why we leave the big thinking to
yeah. That was a nice size thought you had there. I like that.
How long, likely, till we would be able to find our way to the Fey market? Because I imagine getting an antidote to a Fey poison would be quite within the wheelhouse of some of the Fey at the Fey market. But I
Yeah.
also imagine they're not exactly in close contact with the red caps to tilt our hand.
Yeah. I'm trying. Let me just run through your sort of Fey contacts that you have. You have 2 trolls that live in house with you all. A sea troll and the other one was a forest troll.
Yeah.
That live in your covenstead. Then you have some contact with the floating market that could be of assistance, though they are a little hard to get a hold of on short notice. You have had some run-ins with the Alumana, but you definitely don't have any contacts with them. Uh,
What
you,
about the sewer kappa?
yeah, you could at least get some information on him about why he sold your token to the red caps. Because as far as you were aware, he was going to buy up all your tokens so that you could work for him. Personal Wild Witch liaison.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you do also have the satyr-like red-skinned fae that works with House of the Ram, who was able to get you Arcadia through a portal at one time in the past. So
I like him. He's good fun.
I think if I remember right, that's your main contacts. I think you've also had contact with Krampus, but
I don't think he's our
that
friend.
doesn't count. Yeah.
But also, he's imprisoned somewhere, so
Because of us.
have a Hannibal Lecter moment where we just go and meet him in a glass box and Let's go at how to defeat other Fae.
We could split up, and some of us could go find the Kappa guy and figure out what he did and if he could give us anything. And the other group could go and see the Satyr guy, House of the Ram.
Yarl's like, Satyr guy. Do we have a name for the Satyr guy?
Yeah, you have had one in the past.
I don't remember it.
It's probably in my other notebooks.
Yeah.
I
worry.
switched everything to a new one.
Oh right, fuck.
Fuck, yeah.
A little on the nose. It should have been
Yeah,
easy to
I'm
remember, but
I did. It just puts me back to the
I did in
Kill
fact
Bill.
remember, but I thought perhaps it was a bit too on the nose, and thus it couldn't be the right name.
I think last time we said that we were like, yeah, it's a little on the nose. Thanks for the follow, Unas Setas. Know how to pronounce. All right. So, yeah, who wants to do what splitting?
Well, I guess I should probably go to the sewer.
Might make sense if I go with Yano, since I have a good rapport with the House of the Ram.
Yeah, that sounds
And
good.
I'm reckless, and it's probably good not to have two reckless people on the same team. I'll go with Hollis.
Okay, awesome. So what would you like roll to gather information?
I'm sorry, who are you speaking to?
I guess whoever wants to go first. Let's see who's closer. I think House of the Ram is probably going to be easier to find. I think it's probably going to take a roll for you guys to find. So let's start with Lisa Yarrow. What are you get information on? Want to leverage anything in particular, or do you just go in as friends?
Do you want to go and try to flirt with him, darling?
Oh, definitely. Yarl's like, I want to go in and be best friends.
Awesome. Okay. So what do you want to roll? How do you want
I have what's funny, I have 0 consort, but
to...
I will actually spend 2 willpower to get 1.
Okay.
It's like I'm gonna awkwardly try to flirt.
Okay.
It's like I just knock on the door and I yell back.
Yarl's
Yarl's
gonna
also
bust
very
out their best Austin Powers impression. Be like, "Do I make you a honey baby?"
Yarl's also very unstable too right now, so this is very fun. All right, and
Quickly,
8. It is a
Wow.
complete success with a 6.
Okay.
It's like Bucky Pie.
You caught him at the perfect time. He is really happy to see both of you. He immediately cuts you off and says, I've got to tell you all something. This seems like it's right up your alley, so I wanted to give you the information straight from my mouth.
the
But
status mouth.
we need to, we're gonna need to step out of here. They can't hear me talking to you about this.
Well, I'll follow you anywhere, Buck.
Sounds juicy. I do have a secret.
Okay. So yeah, he takes you out. As soon as he steps outside, he waves his hand in front of his face, and his features turn completely Median. He shrinks down by about 1.5 feet. He's still towering over the two of you. And he holds out his arms to take you both by the elbow and walks you across the street. Coffee shop.
What a gentleman.
Oh, I think I liked him before Medea.
I think we know what coffee shop he's taking them to. Starbucks.
uh,
It's
So-
too much. It's too much.
he takes you over and he says that Elise, he knows that they've been trying to poach you away from your coven.
Mm.
And because he's heard the talk, the rumors, things like that. And he thinks that while you'd be an asset to them, of course, you would probably be better served by looking into the of the serpent. They seem more aligned to your particular bent. The angle that you all seem to take with your undertaking seem like they would fit with the Sisterhood of the better. They are it's considered a naughty word in witch circles, but they are oath breakers, quite literally. They help witches and other creatures who have taken oaths that were coerced into breaking those oaths. It's pretty much their entire jam. And after watching you all work and do the undertakings done with House of the Ram, he thought that could introduce you at once he had made sure that you were interested to one of the very important witches. They're a congregation, so they're not perfect, but something he had been thinking about. But he came out here for you all, and so he wants to know what it is you are looking for.
Well, we just so happen to have this little, I would say bottle, but it's a vial. A little vial of something that it's got quite a kick, and I don't really know what it is.
He'll reach for it if you let him have it.
It's like I kind of like pull a little back, but I guess.
Right, he takes it from you and just slurps it down.
No.
Swishes it around, and then covertly spits it back into the bottle, hands it back to you, and he says, "Oh yeah, that's 100% pure redcap blood."
Oh,
That's
Buck
the
has a
good stuff. He holds out his arm, and you watch as the hairs on his arm turn to stone, and then he just sort of brushes them off, and they crumble and crack away and fall to the floor like little pebbles.
Well, Buck knows how to party. Well, now we know what it is.
He rubs his teeth. Yeah, that's pure stuff too. Straight from the vein.
Ugh, Elise is just gonna snort the hairs off his arm.
Oh god.
If
You
there's
know
any
it.
left when we're done, I'll have at least have some fun with it. Let's prioritize first.
Yeah, he's like, I can sweat the stuff out. I've had red cup blood passed to me enough times over the years.
Had a wild time in the 60s.
Sounds like their blood is more formidable than they are.
Right.
Yeah. If it weren't for those damn bells on their shoes, they'd probably get away with poisoning a lot more people with blood.
Do you possibly know an antidote? I'm just gonna come out and ask.
Yeah, let's see. You got a 6. So, yeah, he has the he can give you sort of the right direction to go in. Yeah, let's come back to that. So let's hop
If you
over.
buy him a frap, does that sweeten the deal?
And okay, Hollis and Seth, you are standing at the sewer entrance that you came out of, that Hollis came out of last time that she met with this Kappa. Ready to head in. What's your plan?
I would assume he gave me a way to find him to let him know when jobs were done. And
It was kind of a you do his bidding. He doesn't really need to see you, kind of thing.
okay,
But yeah, you remember that there was a certain sort of tapping system, that you could make on the pipes when you were down there,
Oh,
to
go
help.
get the children. They know how to tap.
Yeah, to get his attention. So yeah, that's do 2 die fortune roll.
okay.
How well that comes out for you.
Come on, mouse.
Technically, actually, well, yeah.
Nope.
Okay.
I got 2 ones.
Okay.
Oh, a critical fail.
If I use my psychometry and I touch the pipes, would I be able to glean anything from that about Hollis being here previously?
Yeah, you reach out and you touch them, and you can absolutely tell that she was here. She remembers coming up through this particular grate. Um, so yeah, you can sense her resonance sort of attached to this area too. It was the first time she had seen sunlight in like 15 hours or so, when she sort of got lost in the sewers after the Krampus thing, if I remember right. That was when that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it was kind of an emotional moment for her. You can definitely sense that in the pipes.
15 hours without sunlight. That's nothing, dog.
That's a standard day for me.
Her preferred.
I don't go a week without sunlight. It's a miracle.
Um, but yeah, tapping on those pipes. Um, you wait for the response, and you get some return taps, and you're not 100% sure it's coming from the same direction as last time, but that's not to say that this Kappa doesn't move around.
Yeah.
So you go to follow them, and let's. Who's going first? The
Probably
team,
me.
Hollis or Seth? Yeah, Hollis. Okay.
I'm the muscle, I'm the backup.
Make a prowess resist.
Me?
Yeah. Something is coming out of the sewer water.
Yeah.
Oh
New
no.
York sewer gator.
Make a resolve resist as well, not just throw up.
I got a 6.
Awesome. Okay, it doesn't take you any willpower to resist. As a almost translucent skinned white alligator leaps out of the water and snaps at you. You pull your legs away from its jaws just before it snaps. And then it starts to spin around, and it's flailing its tail at you, before you have a chance.
If anyone brings me the skin, I'll give them 3 fave fruit. What fine clothes those have made.
You can see wounds all over the back of its head and neck.
Aw.
It looks like it's quite a few scuffles.
Yeah,
It's about 15 feet long.
that's big.
It's a Oh,
You talk to
leather
animals,
outfit.
Seth?
I don't specifically have a thing that says I can speak to animals, but I have that that hood of understanding and I can shapeshift, so I don't know if that
Mhm.
entitles me to any kind of like Disney princess animal speaking magic.
Yeah, I think going for that hood of understanding probably be best quick bet. Keep thinking
Okay.
you've got some kind of the
That's a
light on
shadow
my
from your
glass.
glasses.
Yeah. I keep thinking I've got like a scar under my eye.
Mm.
Turn these-
Well, I
Okay.
guess I'll try the hood and I'll see if it's saying anything to us before I try to say anything back. Like if it's just like, get the heck out of here, or if it's like
Mm-hmm.
actually like asking for help or something.
Okay.
Could be like, hey, there's something stabbing in my gut. Pull out this stick. Or just like, get out of my room.
Become the king of England.
do a 2-die fortune roll to see how well this trans.
Okay.
Hey.
A 6.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So he is just jabbering, gimme, 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 gimme. And yeah, you see his tongue kind of lolling in his mouth as he's getting ready to take another snap. And yeah, he's just gimme, gimme, gimme that yummy meat. And yeah, he seems completely intent on the gob.
Mhm.
Magic meat,
He wants
I
that
am
goblin
delicious.
meat.
magically delicious.
So the wrong small critter. Well, this isn't a leprechaun.
I'm not that short.
um, just wondering if I just shapeshift into Pennywise.
Scare him away.
Now the
Yeah.
question is, does a gator have a Creole accent, or is he a proper New Yorker? Does he sound
Mm.
local?
Gimme that good magic meat. Like to smear it on a bagel.
A
Oh,
proper New Yorker. Oh, right, I see.
some
Oh.
delicious gob smear.
Yeah.
Mm.
Mm.
Goblin logs.
Goblin. That's it. All right.
Hmm.
So he's not going for Seth, so you definitely have more of an opportunity.
Okay. I think both Ribert and myself will shapeshift each into some sewer gators.
Okay.
And be like, no, we claim dibs first. That's our magic meat.
All right, 2-1. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna take any roll then. 2-1, and he's gonna back down, absolutely. So yeah, he steps back and sort of goes backward into the water, and he's just grumbling. Uh, and you see as he submerges, his eyes are the only thing above the water, glinting in the little bit of light that's down here, and says, "I'm gonna get you." And then he submerges and blows a couple bubbles away.
Truly intimidating.
Don't worry, Hollis. Ribert and I have your back.
Aw.
Wow.
I guess we just keep going now. Like, do we know where we're going at this point, or are we just still kind of guessing where the cap is at?
Judging by the fleshiness of that pounding on the pipes, you think that it was this slightly smarter than average gator that was luring you down here. Probably
Okay.
wasn't who you're looking for. He might
Can
not
I
be
try
here.
knocking on the pipes again?
Pounding.
He from yeah, you try knocking on the pipes again, and he doesn't respond. So you think he might.
Hmm.
Way to try the fleshiness of the pound. Um. So, see, I'll give you guys a moment to think about that. If there's another way you want to try.
I was thinking maybe I could do Helm of Darkness
Okay.
for a minute and just kind of look around with less sewer stuff out of the way and see if I can see him or like his home.
Okay.
I figured it would give off a little more because someone has, taken care of it, that it would, especially for Baba's, would be, you know, that's somebody's home over
Right.
there.
Yes.
And then maybe we could figure out a way to get in that direction.
Okay. What do you want to roll for that? That sounds like it might be a survey or a prowl.
Gotcha. Helm of Darkness, 1 essence. I guess I would probably do, yeah, either survey or target because I am looking for
Oh
something
yeah, you
specific.
are.
I think I'm gonna go with target.
Okay.
You just
So
yell out
let's
Turtle
see.
Boy, maybe he'll respond.
So 1
Teenage
essence.
Mutant Ninja Turtle.
He'll just shout back heroes in a half shell.
Kappa power.
I'm gonna spend some willpower to up my dice.
Okay. Ooh,
Dang.
wow. This thing likes you even less than
The
the
least.
dice bot. Okay, that's
Dang.
double ones again.
I was worried this
That's not
ice
random.
machine is
That's
very happy
malicious.
giving up.
That's malicious.
This dice bot's racist. It hates ghosts.
The opposite of magically delicious. Okay.
Tragically malicious.
Oh, I need that on a shirt now.
Yeah, that actually.
There
Okay.
we go. Nightsky Sanctum. It's tragically malicious. You've got the merch rights. I'll give them up freely.
Okay, let's see. Jesus Christ. Okay, double ones again.
Yeah, Jesus Christ isn't here yet. But...
Yeah.
I mean, there's already a Loki alligator. We can make a Jesus Christ alligator.
He just
Uh,
come out of hiding to see
holes in
that.
his hands.
He can't swim, right?
Oh no. Just sinks to the bottom.
He just has to
no.
walk.
The water just keeps going through the stigmata holes.
I think I'm gonna need a minute to think about the negative consequences of that. I mean, generally with gather information rolls like this, it just means that you aren't able to gather any information, and you you lose access to that sort of avenue. So basically, the being invisible and targeting him based on what you know about him is not good enough. You do find a place where he had been staying previously,
Yeah.
and you do not find him there, nor any evidence that he's been there in at least a few days, maybe a few.
Okay. Yeah, maybe he just decided to move on. Sold my contracts and got out of town.
Yeah, that's possible. Where we left off with Yarrow and Elise, was there any other information that you wanted to get out of him? Oh, right, you were looking for a possible
Antidote. yes.
antidote. Um, yeah, so he knows how to cure it for himself. If you can sweat it out, that generally tends to work. It's when it gets into your skin problem. So if you have a way of if you have the sort of body control that's necessary, you can sometimes get it out of your system. But it tends to target shapeshifters more than others. So
Well,
it's
that's useful.
yeah. Luckily, he's
Let's
not.
give some to Seth.
So he tells you he's not actually shapeshifted right now. He's just glamored. So he puts his head down and you can feel his horn pressed against your shoulder. Um, just glamored to make himself look different. And that a true shapeshifter like Jack Spiderstripe or some of the other well-known shifters are far more susceptible to kind of poison. It would not be them to just sort of shake it off the puck can.
Right, do we have the telepathic bond and all like that going?
We haven't activated it yet.
Yeah, you could do that for a Fey fruit.
Let's see. I don't personally have any favorites, but now that I have this information, I assume Elise is right next to me and heard it as
Yeah.
well. So
Might be worth just waiting for now, at least.
Mhm.
Not necessarily urgent that we get to the rest of the party.
yeah, maybe we should find out what who Buck wants us to talk to.
Yeah, so he could feel like an alchemist, still not quite the right it some kind of Fey that also has some knowledge of alchemy or transmutation or something might be able to change the blood in some way. So a powerful Fey like Fey from the Alumana would definitely be powerful enough to handle something like this. They are the sort of scholars of the Fey world. Bring them an appropriate gift and play any of the games that they want you to play with them, and they'll almost always point you in the right direction at the very not help you out right.
Yarrow has a pretty strict rule against playing games with Fae other than literally chasing them and stomping them with her little hooves. Other than that, Fae don't normally
They don't play
play by
fair.
set rules like alchemists do. So
And Elise just has a rule about working with the Fae in general.
They're good rules to have. That's why Elise doesn't do Fey bargains to the degree that everyone else is willing.
They're dangerous.
Maybe if we just put the blood in like a really spicy dish and then he'd just sweat it right out.
I could offer
you think-
Jean as a sauna for the
Do we
day.
think a California Reaper, oh sorry, Carolina Reaper, do we think that would affect a Fae?
Hmm. We'll get some ghost peppers, some Carolina Reapers. It's like, hello, we made this pepper soup. It's a Median delicacy.
It's definitely too strong for you, Jack. You
Yeah.
can't handle it. Don't even try.
Ocean Cellar.
Yeah.
I need your strongest potion.
Um. I think Puck has one other piece of advice, and that would be possibly try it on your trolls. Trolls tend to be a little more resistant to this kind of thing. It's possible that a troll's blood could nullify uh, blood of a redcap.
Oh, you mean like dilute it?
Or feed it to the trolls and bleed the trolls.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I guess
just
we go back to our island and start stabbing trolls.
it's kind of a shot in the dark thing though. He's not really basing it on any like known sort of mythologies or anything like that. He's just, got the thought that maybe this creature with the this tiny creature with extremely potent blood maybe go the opposite direction.
I mean, it can't hurt to ask.
Amplify.
Yeah. It's like, hey, trolls. Just grab one and put it, just like shove it.
I'm gonna spin the Fey fruit so that we can have our telepathic bond. Since Seth and I aren't getting anywhere in the sewer, we could all just meet back at the Cove instead to talk to the trolls.
Tell me about this alligator that we're going to go hunting for later.
Yeah.
Gonna make some nice boots.
You holler
We
down.
could all have alligator boots. Could be our Coven calling card.
There we go. Yeah. What could be more fabulous?
All right. Well, as
And
you
they're translucent as well, so it'll be very chic.
yeah, it's like it's white, but you can see, you can just barely see through it.
It's going to be very 90s.
Let's take a quick break while they head back to the Covenstead. Pick up in just a few minutes. Right back.
Oh, finish.
welcome back to Nightsky Sanctum. Sorry about the extra delay. We had some loud noise here in our local vicinity. We had to wait out. Welcome Hermes to the channel. All right. So the coven makes their way back to their coven stead after they consume fruit. Have a little communion, and
It sounded like we were doing drugs.
do the
We were partying with Hollis.
telepathic bond. Remainder of the undertaking. So any other information you wanted to gather before you formulate a plan?
Oh, Buck's phone number.
Something tells me he doesn't have a cell phone.
Yeah.
Or contact information. There we go.
Open the red door to the left.
Oh, that's
his contact information.
oh, I guess he's just always there.
Their solemn servant.
The option number 3 is we just do it.
Yeah. It's
I
not like
mean,
Jack has been nice to us, so
he has not been nice to us, and he's not been nice to the Redcaps, and we have stolen from him, and he's not nice. So if he finds out that we stole from him, he's not going to be nice.
Yeah.
So,
Whether the
and we don't know that it's going to kill him. It might just petrify him, and he could, thaw out later.
Whether the Redcaps know or not what you guys did to him, this could be still doing you a favor.
If we were to turn him to stone, perhaps we could keep him. I'm sure
But
there's
then a
something out
fountain.
there, even if he's made out of stone.
Convince him what form to shapeshift into. He is petrified.
No, I just want to sneak it in there and put it in his food and sneak out. I don't want to be there when he gets stoned.
So maybe sending familiars in, smallish familiars.
Yep.
Well, I do have a spider.
We could do like a couple of days of recon just to see like what he eats and when he eats and what his routine is when he comes and goes, so we can, get in, do what we need to do and get out without being noticed.
Yeah,
Plan the
Gina's
perfect
surprisingly good at that. In her little coal mode.
And then we all have, like normal Central Park wildlife. So shouldn't be too suspicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aside from the
Suspicious,
fierce.
don't be suspicious.
Why I wish I had a sandwich.
Mhm.
One of my favorite things. Okay, so is that a gather information using some familiars?
I think so.
Okay. Who
We
wants
could
to
reach
go?
out to one of our contacts. We have Cairo.
You have who?
Cairo, the spider living in the Central Park Zoo. It's one of my contacts.
Oh,
Well, not the zoo, just in Central Park, because he helped us find Jack the first time.
oh, yeah, he was the one by the arch, I think.
Yeah.
But at least he's just like staring down the lady with the baby.
No,
Okay. Yeah, so Elise or Whisper would definitely need to go. Else.
Well, I figured we would definitely send the flying guys,
Mm.
and then the Ribbert could get pretty close
Yeah.
without being super noticeable, because toads, they like to live inside of tree stumps
Yeah.
and stuff. So.
Plus Ribbert can be any.
Robert can shapeshift. He can be whatever.
Yeah.
Like he
Awesome.
could be a ladybug and piggyback on top of Whisper. If he really wanted to. Mhm.
Yeah, if Jean just stays pretty like low powered and around the tops of the tree, she could be mistaken for a big raven or something.
Sure.
It's
Stay to the smolder. Maybe she's a cardinal.
All right. So that sounds like maybe a group target or a group study if you're willing to spend a couple of days looking around.
Yeah, I was thinking a couple of days would be good anyway.
Yeah.
I'll just bring a few flasks.
And yeah, +1 die for Elise since you have backup from your spider friend. All right.
Are we using the
The dice
Dice
pot
pot
is
again?
back up. So yes,
Yay!
all can roll there. And
I'm
who's
gonna spend
leading?
some willpower.
I'd be
to get
happy
an
to
extra
lead.
die.
I could do the master planner since we're
Okay.
trying to reach out to one of my contacts as well.
2 willpower for Hollis.
I'm also gonna spend 2 willpower, so like a partial success with a full.
Oh, it was in the wrong order.
That a gather information roll?
No,
Yeah.
it's an action roll.
Oh, I got a failure.
Ribber!
Just
A bird got him.
Sam had
No!
I'm surprised. Only a partial success with 4 cards. Oh my god.
Okay,
I got a 5.
The park is on lockdown.
yeah. Oh, at least 4 dice. Got a 4.
Yes, I'm surprised. I thought it would be higher with 4.
Anya got a 5. We're had an issue with the link for some reason. Didn't come out.
Dicebot came back with a vengeance.
Yeah. Okay. So
Not 2 ones, so I'm happy.
yeah, the group roll ended up being a 5, and this is 1. Did we let's see, Morningstar, Megan, Anya. So it's only gonna cost you 2 willpower, Morningstar, and then
Ooh,
Master
wow.
Planner takes that out.
Oh, well, smashing.
Back to
So it just
0.
cost me an essence instead.
Yep. And we're gonna have a success with have a moderate success gathering. So you see Jack shape-shifting and moving around the forest, the wooded areas quite a bit. He stops at a great number of puddles over the several days and drinks out of the puddles.
Yes.
But you don't see him eating anything. He even stops over at, I'm trying to remember the other end, the little ant guy,
Hmm.
but don't have it in front of me. He even stops over at him and drinks out of the water that's on top of his head. Bumble Woodbud.
Bumblewood Bud. Yeah, I'm like, I have the other name in my head.
Yeah, he stops and meets with Bumble and drinks the water that's on top of his head. Little reservoir as well. And yeah, but that's all he seems to do, and he does it in varied forms, not just as a giant spider, but sometimes as a deer, and various other sort of mythical forms.
Spider deer.
Yeah, beard
That
rider.
sounds terrifying and amazing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe I should get Chimeric Familia.
Yeah. And so you're able to get that information about him without him knowing that you're there at all.
Good.
So do we just slide this into a puddle?
That's what I'm thinking. Maybe just pour it in the puddle. Or split it up into a couple of different puddles.
Going to find a whole bunch of pigeons made of stone.
Oh no.
How small are the puddles?
They're all relatively small, yeah. That you've seen.
Like, I don't want them to dilute it too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we
Pour
just
the whole
fill
vial.
in some of the other ones. Get some dirt into it.
Since you asked, can you make a 1 die fortune roll?
Me?
Yeah, Yarrow. And we'll see if you're able to gather that.
4.
Yeah.
We're in the so-so range.
They are small puddles, and there is a thing that they have in common. That is, they are all footprints. Puddles that have formed impressions left by feet.
All right, Hollis, you have tiny puts.
Jack has a feet thing.
Okay, yeah, I could make a tiny footprint. Fill it in with water and put our poison in it. Put it
Ooh.
pretty close to his tree so he sees it.
Do you want to use your special general power so that you don't have to make a separate trip out? I think you have a power, if I remember right, that allows you to merge with your familiar.
Yeah. Familiar writing. I can fly out there, literally just drop myself down so that I make a pretty deep impression,
Okay.
and then jump right back into Iran and fly away.
Okay.
I'm imagining it Mary Poppins handbag style, like Ron's got like a little fanny pack and Hollis just hops in.
Alright, what do you want to use for that? A little covert action. I assume you're going to drop the poison in the bottle as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess this would kind of be a prowl.
Yeah, I could see that.
Wow.
And are you the only one that's going to be involved with that?
I'm gonna send Jean as like a backup
Way back.
kind of watch, just to hang back a little further, just in case, because it is it's a tiny risky thing to be just sending poor Ron and Hollis out on their own.
I mean, Seth should probably be close, just because I want you to get credit. Fake credit.
Okay. Well, in that case, we can assume that the others are hidden nearby and you're about to go out and just do this on your own. Okay. Go ahead.
I'm trying. Can I have a Fey bargain?
Yeah, you can. Me. Collateral damage, unintended harm, lose an item, appear to betray a friend or loved one, offend or anger a faction, start and or tick a troublesome clock, add fate to the coven from evidence or witnesses, suffer harm, any other devious or mischievous complication. So I had an idea that I was thinking of using anyway, and this would give us the perfect use it. That would be that when Jack Spiderstripe drinks out of a footprint, they know whose footprint it is.
Okay. I wouldn't know that he would know that. That makes sense.
Okay. Well, in that case, yeah. Let's add 1 fate to the coven for that.
Okay.
1 extra die.
Okay.
Doesn't matter if he knows who feet it is if he's turned to stone.
That smells like Hollis toes. Oh, I'm so scared. Yay!
Okay, these
I love you, Dice Pot.
well, the dice spot is being a little
Never die on this again.
a right bastard.
But
Oh, he doesn't want to show my rolls.
Yep, I got it. It's something about the backslash in she they, I think.
Hmm.
No, it might be the space. I don't
you're
know.
only allowed one pronoun, darling.
No. Yeah, I don't know what it is. But you got a 6.
I
So
did.
awesome. Okay. So what does that look like?
Okay, so Hollis, I guess you see Ron fly in, and he kind of swoops in, slows down, and Hollis just kind of falls out of him. And she lands 2 feet, basically not super like right in front of his door or anything super crazy, but like close enough that it's, the first one that he's gonna see in the morning. Hollis has a water bottle and the vial of blood, and she dumps them both in, and then she kind of jumps, and Aran swoops back down, and they merge back into one, and he flies away.
Yep. His little wings are flapping as hard as they can when the door to Jack's tree stump opens, and you see Jack come out and stretch and yawn. He is in the form of the Green Man, a form that
Oh.
you've never seen before. He is
The one on the bags of frozen vegetables.
That's what I was gonna say.
he's
Not the
about
Jolly Green Giant.
no. He is about 5 feet tall, has a green skin, and a large bushy beard that goes down to the middle of his chest. He looks old and tired. And yeah, like I said, he just yawns. And then he drops down on all fours very, very suddenly and trots over to the footprint that you left.
Does he drink it?
They are a tier 1 faction. I'm gonna roll a 1 die fortune roll. Alright. So he leans over and submerges his face in the footprint. And when he raises his head back up, he just looks up at the early sunlight, and swallows the water, and hear all the birds in the area all take to the sky at once. Like a shockwave of something completely invisible came out when you catch your bearings and look down. He has rolled over on the ground, and he is a statue, and exactly wanted.
Why do I kind of feel bad?
Yeah, so there's a little clearing beside his tree, the same tree that you guys snuck into so long ago, stole his precious belongings. So he is there. He is a statue of what looks like a ragged little man standing on all fours like pretending to be a dog.
Not the most appealing statue we could have had. So shall we chop down the tree now and try to get the rest of those coins out while he's turned into stone? Or do you think he had the good sense to relocate?
Well, if he thought the red caps got in, he probably isn't going to put it in the exact same spot.
Yeah, he did that. Dismiss them for their disservice. Want to do anything about this corpse? Or
Oh,
well,
Oh yeah, can I tell if it's a corpse now?
you want to try to speak to it?
Yeah.
It would require you to
Ooh.
touch it.
Oh. Does it require me to touch it?
Oh, that's a good point.
It's just a
Oh, that's right. It
grimoire
became a
ability.
grimoire ability now. Yeah, you can decide how you do it.
I'm just gonna
With a stick.
yeah, poke. Yeah, Hollis will just kind of walk up to it, uh, bend over a little bit so that she's ear height, and just be hey, are you dead?
All right. What do you want to roll for that? And
one of
sort.
the rare situations where asking "Are you dead?" and the only time you're going to get an answer is if they are in fact dead.
I guess probably a focus,
Okay.
because this
Sounds
is a
good.
medical thing.
Yeah.
Hollis is just knocking on his head. Anybody home?
Right. These links aren't working. But
5.
okay. Yep. Okay. So you get a little bit of information. So the information isn't coming to you from the underworld. It is when you try to speak to him, you get basically a telepathic communication, and it sort of interfaces with the rest of you. You're all telepathically communicating. And it's every curse word that you've ever heard, as well as a few that must be Arcadian in origin, because Jack Spiderstripe, uh, physically unable to move, is mentally 100% there and
Oh,
able
I feel
to
so bad.
communicate with you all. After he finally calms down and stops simply giving every expletive that he can think of, he tells you that you don't know what you've done.
Well, I do.
Did
I
you
do know what I did.
did you
It
sense
was
a
a fake
change?
contract. I didn't have a choice.
Did you
Well, you
sense a
did, darling.
change?
As I said, we could have killed all the red caps.
Did you sense a change to Central Park?
You did say all the birds flew away, so I wasn't like,
Yeah. Uh, so he tells you, well, sure, of course, because they felt it. But this is no longer Shadow Dawn's domain. Um, and it feels to me, deep in my stone bones, that this is now the Order's domain. All of my glamours protecting this area are gone.
Well, how do we fix you? Can we fix you?
It would take me... It took me 13 years to put up the wards. The first time. 180 years ago.
Well, now you're 180 years better?
Yeah.
You've had time to practice.
He like peers into your soul through the psychic connection,
Oh no.
and says, 13 years is nothing for me, but 101 years, that's a little something. That's how long it's going to take for this venom to wear off.
We can't speed it up? There's not an antidote? We can't just put some, like, coconut oil on it and soften it back up?
I'll have Jean come down and warm him up real nice. And
Put him in a sauna, have him detox, sweat it out.
Maybe stop drinking out of feet prints. That's weird.
It's my
Not
dom-
our fault that he went and drank out of a footprint that happened to be poisoned.
It's his domain. It's sort of his, like, Baba ritual.
Weird, man.
Weird man. Weird little man. So he says, my only consolation is the fact that you're all stuck with me now.
oh gosh.
What?
Wait. Oh no.
He
I
starts
say we prop him
laughing.
up in the park somewhere and he's like pretend he's one of the statues. Like the people that paint themselves up and just like stand in the park.
We have to take this. He's still alive somehow, in a way.
Yeah, we can't leave him in the park. We can just put him in the
Which means
cemetery.
there's
He can be a fun
power.
cemetery sculpture.
Yeah. Make a little fountain in the front.
If they cannot resist, they have no way to fight back. How difficult do we think it would be to somehow rob them of power and take it for ourselves?
He can hear you
Mm-hmm.
thinking it. But
Yes, but he's not
Like,
going
it's
to be
too
able
hard.
to do
You
anything
can't do it.
for 101 years, so I don't really care what he can hear me thinking.
yeah. But he doesn't provide any answer to that question.
I imagine. Wouldn't be too happy with that.
If we did like a group wild magic, that work?
To take his statue back to your Covenstead, or what are you
Oh, we
thinking?
just throw him in a cart and take him back to the.
Put him in a grocery cart. We'll wheel him back, like
Yeah, we'll
to
just
claim
Exactly.
domain
We'll
over
turn it
this
into a gorilla,
section,
yeah.
and then like put like some kind of protective thing over it. Either we claim it or we protect it, but either way we do something and just bring him back in a wagon or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I think amazingly there were quite a few like shopping carts in the area. They were just glamored to look like something else. Little wooden wagons full of flowers and ivy growing up them, but in reality they were just shopping carts with
Shopping carts.
Virginia
We're going to
Creeper.
discover that Central Park is just completely filled with trash, and it's all just been glamoured to look at least presentable.
Yep. That's basically when you fly up, that's what you see is that the southern section that you thought was relatively nice is wasteland, more or less.
Yeah, that feels like the New York I know.
All right, let's grab a shopping cart and take him home.
All right. You have a new prisoner. Jack Spiderstripe has
I don't think we need to put this one in a cell.
no.
We can put him on the table or the mantelpiece.
Put him on the mantelpiece and just put like he's on all fours. Just put like a potted plant on his back.
Yeah, we just put our feet on him. He's a footstool.
Yeah. Or a table. We'll put a glass top on them.
Oh my god.
Nice.
Be
It's over
fancy
his
about it.
This is quite impressive. We should go and see if we can find more blood from these red cups.
Well, Elise wants like a satyr hat rack now.
I have a satyr hat rack. She's alive, but there's nothing stopping me from hanging hats on Yarrow.
I think Yarrow's so unstable she'd just giggle at this point.
Who doesn't want to be wearing several hats at
More hats, more better.
You just might get them back with holes from the horns.
Mm.
So, as you guys are heading back on your boat with your statue, you come across in the murky waters and in the night, with a mist floating along the waters. Or you hear the sound of a speedboat.
those damn gnomes again. Gnomes.
And the engine cuts out, and then you see it kind of floating toward you. And there is a open bag, sort of like a pouch that's been opened up, and you can see two shining coins on the seat. And when the boat sort of glides into view, the two redcaps that are piloting the boat see the statue aboard, and one of them puts his hand over the two coins and wiggles his fingers, and they both poof into dust. And they cut their boat back on and heel off to the side and head back to land.
I like how they like speedboats. We're little, we gotta be fast.
Little bit fast.
One's in the boat and the other one's like at the back with like the little tiny remote control, just like.
Toy boat.
I'm gonna tell Jack that he should have been nicer to those little guys.
Mm.
I couldn't. They stole from me.
Oh no, we did that.
Unforgivable. He shakes.
We
Yeah.
can be honest with him. There's no reason not to.
Treated them like garbage before they
Dead
stole
before
from him
he
anyway.
gets out, so.
He shakes his psychic fists at you. Darn kids.
And he keeps acting like a jerk. Seth's just gonna turn to a pigeon and shit on him.
Why bother doing that, darling? Just turn into an albatross.
A dire pigeon.
Entire pigeon.
I can put the gloves back on and we'll get a dire pigeon over here.
Yeah. It is around that time that you are heading toward your island when you hear the horn of a much, 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 much larger ship.
Mm.
Just piercing through the fog, the sound piercing through the fog, and then you see the tip of another massive cruise liner coming into
Just the
view.
tip.
Just the tip.
What do they want? Jesus, can we? Do they have a flag?
Eventually you'll flag, but first you'll see the insignia side of the ship,
Okay.
which is a sun in eclipse, a symbol that you recognize as Corpus Templi Solaris.
Is this our boat?
It's not. It's much nicer.
Aw.
Well, let's steal this one and
Let's
replace
take
the
this
other
one.
It's much
Change
newer.
program.
It's probably filled with children. We can get even more kids. We've learned their
That's
tactics.
just what we need. More
This
children.
time, don't kill any children.
Nobody.
There's shrimp cocktail on board. I'll behave myself.
See me, I need oysters and a half shell to start behaving.
From your vantage point down low, it's impossible to see what's going on up there without taking some action, sending a familiar up or something.
Can I shapeshift and just fly up?
Sure, what do you want to turn into?
Least mentioned it already, or Hollis, albatross, I guess. Nice big bird.
Okay. All right. What action do you want to use?
Probably a study,
Okay.
I guess, just to see if I can see like if anyone's on deck, if like there's any kind of weapons, if I see witches or anybody, or if it's just like approaching.
Mm-hmm.
Partial success with the 4.
Okay. Okay. So you're quite a heavy bird, but once you get going, kind of go away from it, get some good air, and then head back over and make a pass over it. When you're nice and far away, you can see that apparently they learned their lessons from last time, and they have a lot more gunnery aboard their ship than they did last time. Came aboard one. That's pretty loud.
Fan, sorry.
It's okay. There's something
I
wrong.
can't hear it at all through my headphones.
There's
Sorry.
something wrong with your mic too, but
Is there?
yeah, it sounds very
Everything's plugged into the laptop. Let me see if I can change. Is it just quiet, or is there like
No,
reverb?
it's nice and loud. Just very like I'm not good with noise related terminology.
I know what you're saying as well, darling. It's hard to kind of phrase. Sounds almost a bit, well, muted in some ways without being inaudible.
Nice and loud. But just not not clear.
Yes.
Sorry about that, though. I'll stop with the fan.
No, it's okay. No, it's yeah, I don't
Got to keep cool.
you were, for a minute there you were doing it and it sounded just fine. So I think it might have just been the angle.
You might be able to open the door now, darling. Later in the evening.
I don't want to reverb in your mic, so it's okay. I've got water. I'm all good. But anyway, you were saying there's more gunnery on the top of the ship?
Yeah, there are at least 4 gun emplacements that you on this newer ship. And then there are like 6 really nice hot tubs, and some tables that are bolted down to the end chairs, bolted down to the top level. Right now, there are only a couple of people at the bow of the ship, and none of them spot you instantly. Plus, you're a big bird, but there's a lot of
For you.
fog as well. So you're able to keep enough of a distance that they don't spot you immediately. But yeah, it looks like a vastly upgraded version of what you saw before.
Okay. And they're on the offensive, it looks like.
I didn't know you're here, darling.
Yeah, it's unclear. They're definitely not being offensive toward you. But it's unclear what they're doing in these waters. It does seem like an unusual location for them to be traveling.
Well, shall we go kill them all?
Yeah.
Fine.
Just sink the whole thing.
I can do some wild magic up in the air and just crack and stomp this thing into the sea.
Yeah, Be interesting. I would say Jack is cheering you on for that method of chaos.
Changed his tune quickly. There we go. Jack will be our new patron.
Yeah. Jack.
We can make a big iceberg and crack their hull, and then we can just like cracking arms up around and just pull it down into the sea.
That'd be great. So does anyone want to breach contact or anything with them? Because I'm a bird, obviously. So I'm hidden right now. But does anyone else want to do anything before I go ham?
I can stop the boat with my telekinesis, but that's probably the most of use I am.
I'm no good unless you put me in front of a person.
There are a couple.
What if there are kids on board?
Well, it wouldn't be the first time Seth killed a bunch of kids while boarding a cruise ship.
One is hardly a bunch.
New records then.
I mean, I could hold the boat still and do like a swipe cross deck, and then you guys could come up potentially.
Go full Kraken. Start pulling the ship to the side.
We'll go up there. What are you doing in our waters?
I just pick it up and I give it a good shake and shake everybody out.
Are there any like porthole windows?
Yeah, similarly to the previous one, just much nicer. So yeah, there are windows that lead into the main deck of cabins.
So maybe Hollis can ride in Iran and just kind of look in some windows and see if there's any people and what these people look like. If they're children or not.
If you remember last time, the kids were kept in
In the bottom, yeah.
in an interior part of the vessel with no purpose. But yeah, so who wants to do what first? And what's sort of the overall plan here? To sink this fucker?
Yeah, if there's no children on it.
Yeah.
Well, we might be able to conquer it with ease. Might be worth doing. Second cruise ship. We haven't even used the first one, but
I know, but if we could just have our own armada, it'd be great.
Yeah.
Elise does. Yeah, there is something you can do, which is you have the sort of astral vibe check.
yes, I suppose I could do a check of the ship. Not sure. Well, I suppose me not being sure what I'll find is the reason to do it in the first place.
It's a pretty big area. So how do you want to go about it?
Well, I suppose chances are I can't cover the whole area. But perhaps I can peer into the heart of the ship to see, what might be at its core, potentially. Even if I can't figure out what's all throughout it.
You also got a sort of mental note from Seth that there are two people at the bow of the ship. If you got sort of a lock on them, you could potentially read their minds.
Mental takeover. Yes, I suppose I could do a mental takeover. Although I think with Elisa's casting style, that would be a long shot from here. But I could indeed do an astral check of those individuals.
Okay. What would you like to use for that?
I suppose would focus or study. I'm not sure which would be more appropriate. probably focus. It's just magical.
Yeah, that makes sense. Don't really have direct access to them.
Would that be a gathered information or just a...
Yeah, gather info.
What's a 6?
Awesome. Okay. So a 6 is sort of everything you want. You can ask a few questions, at least 3 questions.
Well, at least related to the astral. I'm interested what sort of beings they are,
Mm-hmm.
potentially. I'm
Uh,
assuming mundane, but
yeah, so you're picking up some non-mundane activity here. You're not sure exactly what realm it's coming from, but it's definitely not astral. But there are some entities aboard that are warping reality to a degree. But it doesn't seem to be affecting the upper decks. It's making it hard for you to sort of pierce down below. But you are able to get any information you want about the 2 people that are up top.
I can get any information I want. Well then, who are they?
Okay. You get relatively normal seeming information from them. They are one is a first timer, first time on a boat, and the other one is sort of a veteran.
A seasoned seaman.
Yeah, there's a little salt in it.
Well, there's nothing better than salty seamen.
Sounded like a salt shake.
Well, should we kill them both, or save the young one? Or kill everyone on board? There evidently is something bigger than just humans on here. So, perhaps sinking the entire ship preemptively would be a bit messy. But I mean, can't hurt.
Can I focus and use my grimoire sense to see what resonance there is?
Yeah, for sure.
Since it wasn't astral?
Right.
And then maybe we can that way maybe it's something that one of us might specialize in. Would that be gather information still?
Mm-hmm.
I get okay info with a 4.
Okay.
It's like bobbing around in the water. I can only get so much. I'm just kind of like swimming, and I can't really swim very well with the hose.
Just got one of those children's floaties on either antler.
Yeah. I got it, guys.
So you sort of reach out mentally, and yeah, you find it hard for your mind to sort of penetrate the hull of the boat. Um, it's almost like there's an unreality field. Um, it seems to be the closest thing you've interacted with in the past was uh, some shadow magic. So you think it might be something of that nature.
Maybe shadow magic. Well, I like the unreality field. It's like, oh, we're gonna have some fun timey-wimey stuff going. So I assume we're all still connected, so that I relay that information to everybody.
Okay.
Well, there's some kind of force field around it at least.
Well, that just makes me extra curious. Perhaps we should
No.
board.
Well, there's only 2 on top, and we can take care of them.
I'd be down to seeing what's up with this. It's like you're always like new friends.
So are we doing a peaceful board or are we doing like an offensive board?
Do we ever do anything peaceably?
Yeah, maybe we try to be sneaky? A little bit sneaky.
I just
somebody
use force.
staying aboard the boat, or you all boarding, you're gonna lash your boat to theirs. How do you want to handle that?
Yeah, so I'm already flying around. I'd like to do some kind of shape-shifty transition. So while I'm up in the higher parts of the boat, I'd like to shift into a rat so I can kind of scamper around.
Okay.
Rasputin.
The
It's
return of
Putin! He's back!
Yeah, rats can fall from a really good distance, not take any. So, yeah. I'll just give that to you as a freebie. Yeah, you hit the deck, and well, you're falling toward the deck, and you're like you sort of flatten yourself out, sort of ride the wind down onto the deck, and just before you're expecting to kind of feel the jarring hitting the ship, you kind of feel yourself start floating and slowly down, and as the you get closer to the uh, deck of the ship, everything starts to shift and change around you, and you find yourself completely mentally disconnected from the rest of the group. Nobody
Guys,
can
they're hotboxing on the boat.
hear your thoughts. You can't hear theirs any longer. Um, and we have to figure out where you landed. So let's go
It's a
with
ghost ship.
a tropical island. You went from being the middle of the day to the middle of the night to the middle of the day. You are in the hot sand on a tropical beach with palm trees all around you.
There's a
And
coconut drink sitting next to you.
I'm regretting finishing that pina colada earlier. It's like but okay. Um
the sand feels completely real. It's if you're not actually there, it's the most convincing you've ever been a part of. You can feel it on your little ratty feet, sinking into the sand a little bit. The temperature gradient between the surface of the sand and just below the surface is, yeah, it feels so real.
Toasty Pete. Can I use my general power, Otherworld Omens,
Yeah, that
to
sounds
kind
good.
of see if I'm in danger?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, um, if you want to use that, I'll give that to you. You're able
Oh,
to shapeshift just before you hit the deck, if you'd like.
okay.
Basically, you feel that powerful shadow presence that you were feeling before, and it gets so overwhelming that you are like basically get this premonition, this warning in your mind, that really convincing illusion, and then you're able to use that warning to see ahead of time and stop yourself from landing on the ship, and you turn back into some kind of flying animal.
Okay.
And then you guys feel disconnected from Seth, and then immediately you feel that her mind reconnect, or their mind reconnect with all of you. And yeah, you feel like it was like your life flashed before you, but it was like a nice tropical vacation.
Should I pop a one essence to kind of do like a enigmatic form kind of boost on it?
I think
Since that's kind of how it ended up working out.
because of your otherworld omens, I think that covers it.
Okay.
That's the kind of thing that it's kind of meant for, to give you a warning. So yeah, no need for that.
As far as everybody else knows, their Kevin mate just turned off and restarted again.
Yeah.
Wasn't working. Did a hard reboot.
Yeah, reboot. Nice.
Windows shutdown noises.
Just the dial-up sound just plays in Steph's head constantly.
But as you pull up and away, you see the two people rushing over to their little machine gun turrets, and they fire off a barrage of shots at you as you're flying away. Something probably from entering that field alerted them. Is the feeling you get from the spirits that are around you. And yeah, they take a couple shots at you, but they all miss, and you return to the mist. And you can hear
Guys, the boat's weird.
you can hear the ship turning and trying to go toward where you flew away to.
Okay.
So I can try. I'm wondering if I can try to dispel the enchantment around it and kind of mess them completely up, and just like dump some essence into it
Sure.
and use my arcane supremacy, and just like just dispel whatever I can dispel. Just like, I'm just gonna, you know what? Screw it. Let's just mess it all up.
Mm-hmm.
At least it'll still be floating. They don't get their vacation anymore.
You're
Awesome.
just screaming, Control, Alt, Delete, Undo, back up. Like,
Control Z. uh it's like, you shot at my friend, and no, I'm just like, no, we whatever your little vacation spot supposedly, because I guess I'm getting stuff's memories. we're we don't like that anymore. So
Awesome.
so I think oh gosh, what would that be?
I think that's arcane supremacy.
Yeah, arcane supremacy is 3 essence, but I'm trying to think, is there a roll for that?
Probably focus.
Yeah, that's probably why I put an extra dot in there.
You want to spend extra essence to increase the effect?
Yeah, I'm also gonna pop 2 willpower to give me an extra die, and I'll spend like an extra 2 essence to just dispel whatever I this. I'm gonna go in there with like a whole like 5 essence in there.
Okay.
Evil giggles ensue. If I can type correctly, there we go. It's a partial success.
Okay.
Everything's just flickering.
Okay.
Like, I'm pointing at it, and I'm trying really hard, and everything's just flickering off and on, off and on.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what's going on. We're gonna start a 6 clock. That is completely dispelled. So you feel the effect flickering off and on and sort of rebooting itself. And then after a few seconds, it comes back completely online. But you feel like you've gotten in there. You just need to get sort of to the core of it to hit it to its fullest.
Like, let's restart it completely. We need a magical virus.
You hear some. Let's see who's closest. I guess that would make sense for be Yarrow. I'm sort of mentally reaching out to that area. I think you're hearing some screaming.
Oh no.
well, they're not on the trippy tropical beach right now.
It's just Jock internally.
So that course of
Well,
action won't work again, but it's definitely it definitely had a pretty major effect.
Everybody's scared now. It's like, well, don't mess with us. Look what we can do. Who's the most intimidating? Yara just wants to be friends. Like, now that you've seen our power.
So you're worried that if they do manage to catch up to you in this thing, in your little boat, that you'll be sitting ducks, and with the statue that you have aboard, you're not really terribly maneuverable right now, so you might need to head for cover before they get to you.
See, can I
Uh,
use my telekinesis to power the boat to cover?
Yeah, I think that would make sense.
It's like
Oh,
magical
great.
motorboat.
No limit on the number of players who can do wild magic in one session, correct?
No limit at all.
Okay. So I was thinking that I would do a wild magic and invoke Tartarus real big and like freeze the boat in place so that the ocean is like frozen and they can't move through it anymore.
Okay.
And that way we could just walk on the ice out to the ship and leave our boat behind and then walk back to our boat when we're ready to leave.
Okay. So make an ice bridge between the two boats, as well as sticking theirs in place.
I figured we would just be on the edge of whatever, not like a bridge or anything,
Right.
just we can just like it's a dock, we would just jump onto it.
Okay.
like it's a radius coming out from around Hollis in all directions and just kind of reaches the other boat.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
more like the opposite, right? It would
More,
be
more,
around
yeah, more
their
like
boat.
a radius from around the boat and freezes out as far as I can get it to go, and we just drive up to the edge.
Okay. So let's take a look at your attributes that you get for that. It's your Baba.
Mm-hmm. This is underworld magic, so that counts.
Yeah, you're summoning this energy, this cold energy up from the depths of the underworld.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. One. Your aspect.
Aspect. Where did you go?
Death.
Yes.
What
Yeah.
is it?
Um,
It's at night.
I mean, since it's underworld cold, and when you die, you're cold. Um,
The cold of the corpse.
yeah,
Yeah, this is gonna
the
kill.
cold of a billion corpses.
Cold of the corpse, cold of the water.
Yeah,
Ooh.
cold of all the dead bodies that drowned in the ocean.
Yeah, it's passing over what's effectively a underwater graveyard. Cool. For your heritage.
Um, the gob, I have to be used to making ways for me to get to places that I need to get because the world isn't built for short people. So I
You
am sort of used to building where I need to go for myself.
build your own ramps and bridges and things.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am small. The world's not made for me.
It does feel like that sometimes.
Yeah. All right. 3 die wild magic.
Sweet. Okay. What do I need to type for that one?
Should say here, exclamation point 3W.
W?
Wild.
Okay. Oh,
Okay.
I got a complete success.
Awesome. Copy that over. Alright. Okay. So yeah, you can describe that.
Yeah, Hollis will squat down in the boat and actually I think she's gonna put her hands over the side of the boat into the water. I think that makes more sense for getting as close to the element that she's trying to affect as possible. She will chant in her long lost gob language and send freezing ice that grows outward from the boat, and it is so thick and so deep that it kind of bowls the boat so that it can't move anywhere,
Okay.
so that it's stuck.
Yeah, you see like about 2 feet of the boat come out of the water from the ice expanding. Yeah, and it's stuck there. And yeah, the 2 people that were at the top, the one that's closest to you, when it hits the ice, that person goes flying overboard and lands on the ice,
Ouch.
breaking about 30% of the bones in their body from the 35-foot drop.
You like to break people, don't you?
You do.
It's you. I didn't target that guy.
I'm not here. Yeah. So you can decide which one that was. The
I
veteran
don't
or
know,
the
the one
newbie.
on the right. Oh, the old priest
The old
or the
priest
young
or the
priest?
young priest?
Um, let's go with the old priest.
Okay.
They always die first.
Okay. All right. Yeah. It's old frail bones. So yeah. They,
God, he was only 2 weeks from retirement.
mhm.
Poor thing.
Okay, and we're gonna start an 8 red watch clock.
Do we have any ticks on the completely dispelled at this point?
No, those will have to be actions that move in that direction.
Okay. Just want to make sure I didn't miss anything.
Is the broken old man still alive?
Sorry, so the red watch clock is a 6 o'clock? I thought you said it was an 8 o'clock.
8 clock, yeah. We're at 3 out of 6 on the completely dispelled clock.
Okay. And how many do we have on the red watch clock?
0 out of 8.
Okay.
Elise can see that there is still a bit of life left in old man.
Well, then, perhaps she should very gracefully step out of the boat onto the ice, move towards him, and attempt to do a mental takeover before that little glimmer of light disappears.
Yeah, sounds good. What you gather from him.
Yes.
Thought you were going to go much darker than that.
If we understand what's happening, or assuming he understands what's happening.
Yeah.
So that should be a study roll. Assuming I don't need to roll anything to get over to him.
Yeah. Thanks to Hollis.
And would that be a gathered information or a regular action?
It's an action.
Oh goodness, it's a 3.
Okay.
It's slippery.
And I'm in heels.
You have to touch him for this?
No,
No?
no,
Okay.
Elise would use her smoke for that.
That's right. Okay.
She would probably try to get close-ish.
Okay. If you blow smoke toward him, and then sort of breathe it back in, sucking up the memories, and you feel something jump into your throat along with his memories, and it is attempting to possess you.
Ooh,
So
possessions.
terrified.
So
Well, I'm certainly going to try and resist that, because
Alright.
Elise does not give up without a fight.
that'd be a resolve resist.
Alright. And I get a +1 to resist rolls with resolve. Oh my god, that's a
Oh, wow.
with 5 die.
Wow. Children of Midnight Bot has come back with a vengeance.
Oh,
That's gonna
dang.
cost you 3 willpower. Um, you are in another world for a short moment. You have a drink in your hand. It's horrible. You're in a tropical paradise. There are birds, tropical birds singing from every tree. The ocean's lapping at the shore. It's just gorgeous.
Elise lit the wrong cigarette.
And but you feel something crawling into your throat, and it takes all the effort you have to spit it back up and force it back out of your system. And then you're back on the ice and watch the old man wither away in front of you, die. And his memories turn to ashes. Mind.
But that wasn't very helpful. So someone knock the young one down here and I'll try again.
You gotta catch him.
Can I just do like a flyby?
Yeah,
I'm up in the air as this albatross, like just
yeah, absolutely.
clothesline him off the boat.
Sounds good. This is going to be desperate though, because
Okay.
he has a gun.
Would this be more likely a brawl or a spring?
I could see either.
Okay.
There's mists
I'll
for
do.
you to come out of, so
I'm physically smacking into him, and I want to use the force to knock him off. So I think brawl is probably more realistic.
that
I'm
makes
gonna
sense.
give myself 2 willpower to increase the effect.
Okay.
Oh, close the wrong cap. No, it didn't work. Did Dice Spot go to sleep?
You need a A or an R, or no, wait, that's
Oh,
no, I think you're
no,
right.
just
That should work.
Could have worked.
Yeah. Did Dice
The
Spot
dice
die
rolled
again?
wrong.
Dice Spot's like, wow, I come back and you guys talk sass. I'm gonna go back to bed.
Yeah.
Oh, there. Oh,
Okay,
Oh yeah.
so I have to do an A then.
I guess so.
Why?
I don't
We
know.
didn't need to do it before. That was weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
Well, I'll do A this time and see if it works. Oh, there we go. That's what we want. A 6.
All right.
He's off that boat.
Yep. Yeah, and do you want to hold on to him to, let him
Oh,
fall at, so he's not gonna break everything on the way down?
yeah. I'll go by. I'll smack him and I'll grab him and then I'll kind of bring him about halfway down before I drop him. So if anything, just his legs are busted.
Okay.
So at least has a better chance of catching up to him.
Because that's extra, let's say reduced effect.
Okay.
Since that's sort of an extra request beyond what we rolled for.
Yeah. Rather than just knocking him off.
Yeah. But yeah, I think you being as big of a bird as you are and everything, I don't think that's gonna be a problem for you. Okay. So yeah, you grab him by the leg. He holds on to the turret, and it tears his arm out of socket. But then gets him off the turret, and then you're able to drop him from a more slightly safer height onto the ice near Elise.
Perfect. A second chance.
And
Well then, quickly, before he has the time to react, I would like to move towards him, grip him by the throat before he realizes what's happening, and attempt to breathe my smoke down into his lungs.
okay, sounds good.
Hopefully this time it will go better.
Oh,
A 3 again! I
my
can't seem to
God.
roll above a 3.
Okay. So I think then this affects sort of everybody to a degree. The pain from his shoulder being out of socket, and falling, and probably breaking, a bone on the way down, and all of that, in addition to the weird illusion that's going on, it starts sort of infecting the entire uh, telepathic bond, and you guys all get like visions that you're not where you are, and just immense pain just sort of radiating through the telepathic bond. Um, and, uh, but I'll let Elise ask one question into his
Well,
mind. He is still alive.
my main question is, are they with the Corpus Tempest Solare? Because this seems beyond them.
Um, yeah, he absolutely is. Um, it- but like, where am I? Why is it nighttime? He's completely confused about what's going on. How did you get me here? Why is it so cold?
So he thinks whatever illusion is happening is also true.
They all just thought they were going to Aruba.
They thought they were
That's one
already there.
recruiting tactic.
Well, that's a new kind of cruise ship. You don't go anywhere. The place is the ship itself.
Well, if we sink the ship, it seems like the simplest solution at this point.
I want to know who the screaming people are.
Yeah, when the illusion sort of was able to re-envelop the ship, the screaming stopped.
Well, I mean, yeah,
Once
I
it
guess it would.
sort of flickered back on.
I guess jumping to reality and then back into an illusion is quite scary and jarring.
Yeah, especially when
If,
you've been wholehearted believing the illusion for
yeah.
hours or days even.
If I do Helm of Darkness and I'm technically in the underworld, will I be affected by this illusion?
That's a good question. That would depend on, I guess, the role.
Okay.
Give it a shot.
I guess we'll find out.
Okay. So the idea would just be to climb
I'm
aboard
gonna
the.
I'm gonna Helm of Darkness and walk over to the ship and see how close I can get. If I'm affected, um, I guess try to walk out of the affected area.
Do we have any rope?
But I guess if I step into the underworld, you can't tie a rope around me anyway.
Hmm.
Right. What do you want to roll for that? Study? survey?
So, Helm of Darkness costs an essence to take any actions. So I guess it's like an essence to do it.
Yeah. Well, it's an
And
action.
then
It's an essence for every action you take in the in between worlds. So
okay.
just turning it on doesn't cost anything, but if you
Okay.
want to take an action like survey or something like that.
Kind of more of an experiment, and if my experiment goes well, then I'll do more actions.
Let's
I just want to see if I walk over there, if I get affected by the illusion.
Okay. Let's do a 2-die fortune roll then.
Okay.
That's about the equivalent.
That makes sense. Mixed result.
Okay. Okay. The reality of the world and the underworld as you feel it in the area does seem to be superseding any effect, at least as close as you were able to get. You're basically you're touching the boat effectively. You haven't climbed aboard, but you're closer to the ship even than the old man and the young man were, and
Okay.
you're not feeling any of the effects.
Okay. Am I still connected?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I will tell everyone that in this state, I'm not affected by the illusion. And I'm going to see how far I can get into the boat before I get affected. And if it's just a bunch of, yuppies on a pleasure cruise, then we can sink the boat.
Yeah, and if you can get pretty far in, that would give me maybe more knowledge to dispel all the enchantments completely too. We'll give them a nice dose of reality while we sink it.
Wake up and you're freezing.
Yeah.
Haha.
So
And you're dying.
if Hollis was able to get a piece of the interior of the ship, something with powerful emotions or magic attached to it, and bring it out, then yeah, that would be the kind of thing that Yarrow could use. For
Okay.
that.
Okay.
So
So I guess what I will do is just get onto the boat and do like I guess, a study or a survey to see if I can find anything magically significant to
okay,
bring out with me.
okay, good.
Okay.
Yeah, I think survey makes sense. Kind of feeling around blind though. I'm gonna
Yeah.
say risky limited effect.
Can I take another Fey bargain to get increased effect?
That'd give you an extra die,
Okay, yeah.
or you could do 2 willpower to get increased.
I'm not gonna do two willpower.
Okay.
Getting too low on it. Yeah, so Fey bargain for an extra die.
Okay. Um how about you'll be able to hear people between the worlds. So you're going to hear some of the stuff that's going on.
Okay. So it'll be disorienting and
Mhm.
possibly disturbing.
Yeah.
And annoying.
Okay. Do I need to do A?
Yeah.
Okay. Not terrible.
Uh,
Partial.
okay. Let me get to my Helm of Darkness chart. See what the result is.
See what underworld monsters are going to try to get me.
Yeah.
It's my grandma. It's fine.
Okay. Can you roll? Well, no. Nope, dice spot doesn't work in that channel. Yeah, can you roll one die? Fortune
One
roll.
die?
Yeah, fortune roll.
One die fortune roll. Okay.
Helptron fairy emoji just dislocated their wrist.
Oh, geez. You gotta
This-
stop doing that.
Not the time for it. What'd you get?
I got a 6.
A 6! Oh no!
Oh, no! That's good, though. 6s are good.
No, not on this roll.
Ugh.
Okay. Okay. So you're able to get into the mid decks, and this is when you can start to sense partying and merriment and enjoyment, and things like that going on all around you. You can't see anything, but you can hear it. You can hear the whooshing of water too, and you can hear the moans of the damned as well. But as you head down, and you're sort of feeling around these thick walls of the interior part of this cruise ship, you come across you see a life preserver ahead of you hanging from the wall on a hook. But you can also see a ghostly apparition with claws, and it's just tearing into this attacking it from the underworld. Just, slashing at it over and over again. And it's blocking your way to go further down into the belly of the ship. Worried that with it being as angry looking that it might pose an actual existential threat to you.
Hmm.
What do it?
Um.
Sounds like the ship is buggered anyhow, and everyone on it is doomed. Might as well just come back home.
But if they're here against their will, being tricked, and they're like prisoners, I
Well,
feel
I
real bad.
already confirmed that they are Corpus Tempus Solaris, so
Yeah, from what you know of them.
they're being tricked. It's hardly any great loss. These are the same people who kidnapped children. We just sink them all.
Gonna be close. I'm gonna go up, run up, grab the life preserver, and throw it, and see if it'll fetch.
Okay. All
Go
right.
get it, boy. Go get it.
All right. What do you think that's gonna look like as far as action?
Feels like a command row to me.
Command.
Command,
I was thinking brawl.
bring, brawl.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with brawl because I'm gonna run up and, like shoulder check it to get it out of the way, grab the thing off of the wall and throw it.
Okay.
That seems like a brawl action to me.
Okay.
That seems. Let me see how many I have in brawl. It's one of my better skills. I haven't got to use it in a while.
I'm gonna say risky reduced effect.
Okay.
You're not entirely sure that it's corporeal.
I guess. I guess we'll find out. I got a complete success.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Right. Do as you were trying to. Snatch that off the wall and hurl it down the hallway and then duck to the side. And the angry spirit rushes past you, goes for the life preserver that you threw. So you see him crouched down in a corner of the hallway, kind of under the stairs, and attacking this thing ferociously. Have access to the lower level.
Okay, I'm just gonna try to do a real quick check
Hmm?
and get out of here as quickly as possible because I'm very uncomfortable now.
That cost you another essence.
To do a quick check? Yeah, I guess so. I already spent one for the brawl, so I guess the quick check is another one. Ugh, I'm getting real low on dice for these checks,
Hmm.
and I can't spend any more willpower. So I guess we'll just see what it is.
Okay. Right.
So I'm gonna do a survey.
Right. It's gonna be a desperate survey, but standard effect.
Okay.
Fingers crossed.
Oh, I'm so scared. Hey!
Wow.
All right.
This is why I'm getting all the threes, you're getting all the sixes.
Okay. Wait. I think I pasted the wrong roll. You only rolled one die on that, right?
I only rolled one die on that.
Yeah, I pasted the wrong thing. Here we go. Nice. Okay.
Got those 4 ones out of the way earlier.
What do you find down there? Something that's significant to them, part of this effect.
Um, let's say that they have used like rune stones to set up this effect, and
Okay.
I'm gonna snatch one and bring it with me.
Okay. Yeah, you find this like series of obsidian stones with runes carved in them. And yeah, there are 6 of them sitting on the table. Snatch one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I guess I will spend another essence to get off of the boat.
I'm for your
Yeah,
rules,
that's
Jay.
probably a good idea. To do so safely. All right, it's gonna be desperate and standard effect. What do you want to?
What am I rolling?
It's up to
Like
you,
what's
but I was thinking like prowl,
okay?
one
Let me.
essence.
Yeah. Alrighty, let's hope this works. It's another 1 die roll.
Yeah.
Hey!
Okay.
Yay.
On a desperate, that's still dangerous, but not instantly deadly. Do me a 1 die roll again.
A 1 die roll again. Is it a fortune roll or just another action?
It's a fortune roll. You want to roll low.
I want to roll low.
Mm-hmm.
Hey!
Wow.
What'd you get?
A 1.
Awesome. Okay.
Hollis is only allowed to roll 1 die from now on.
You get exactly what you want. All right. A series of corpses, partially solid, start to crawl up through the floor of the walkway that you're in. They start coming up through the floor, and you can see them becoming more real as they emerge from the floor. And a series of them do so. It seems like the spirits that of the dead that were below when you did your wild magic were touched by it.
Awakened.
Yeah, and so
Aroused.
they have begun to emerge. But as they are finally getting to their feet, you're just cresting the surface of the ship and headed back out. And you make it to the edge of the boat and look over the edge and kind of get dizzy as you're standing about 35 feet off the ice. And you need to get at least a few feet away from the boat before you can turn off this effect. Otherwise, you might get trapped here.
I assume I climbed up a rope or something to get onto the boat, so I'll just get back off the same way I got
Okay.
on.
All right. Yep. You grab a hold of the rope and you slide down. You hit the ice and kind of skitter backwards. Bump into Elise, and they help get you away from the boat, and then you turn off your effect, and all the spirits are effectively gone now. You can't see them. They're still there. It's just not physically as frightening right now.
Okay, I'm gonna hand Yarrow this stone, so to see what they can make of it.
Yeah, Yarl grabs immediately, like kind of like chews on like a ragged corner, and it's like, I don't know, lifts a hoof, hits it on the hoof, like pretty much really like inspects it, and then yeah, I think I'll go ahead and try to do another arcane supremacy dispel enchantment, and we'll
Okay.
I have enough essence, thank goodness. Okay, let's see. And then since I do have it, I think that's just another focus. Yeah, that's focus. And I will spend 2 willpower and up me to 3. Let's see if the dice bot likes me.
How many? This is going to be standard effect. So.
Oh, I had just the 3.
Okay.
With a complete success, yay.
Okay. A complete success gives you 3 more ticks on that clock. That clock is full. You force your magic powerfully through this channeling a piece of obsidian, runic obsidian, and it shatters, and you sort of feel the other 5 just one by one explode down there in the center of the ship, and can feel Elise can feel from the young one that was still down there that that magic has faded, because now he knows exactly where he is, and doesn't remember the magic so strongly.
Could Seth take a piece of the shattered obsidian and see if they could see what the purpose of this spell was through psychometry?
Yeah, you also hear people come running up the steps up to the top level of the ship. So
Like, oh no, are they gonna think we're heroes? we can't hurt that reputation now.
Okay. So I guess I can do the psychometry on that obsidian. I'll do like another flyby and grab a piece.
Okay.
That's one essence pop. It's ticked. Should I do a roll alongside that?
Mm-hmm. Gather information of your choice.
Okay. I guess study again because it's one object.
Okay.
The windows don't want to open.
All right.
Partial success out of 4.
Okay. Yeah. You feel sort of blood, sweat, and tears were poured into this, the making of this, and it was done by witches against their will. And it doesn't seem like it's the only thing, but it is one of the more recent they had done. You get this intense vision of this coven of witches that's being held captive somewhere, that are being forced to do spell work for Corpus Templi Solaris.
So it's safe to assume that all the people who were enjoying this magic are Corpus people.
Very, very likely. You start to hear gunshots coming from the top deck of the ship. It's like single loud points, gunshots. One, then a few seconds pass. Another. Few seconds pass. And another.
Are we seeing the bullets or?
No, nobody seems to be firing at you.
So are they killing themselves?
Wouldn't be the first time.
After the third, they stop.
Do we see any signal flares up in the sky?
Nope.
Oh, I feel like they offed their witches that they had in the middle now.
You all feel a queasiness pass over you. And I'm gonna have everybody make a resolve. Resist.
Oh no.
Let's see if I succeed this one.
Anya got a 5. That costs you 1 willpower to resist.
I got a critical.
Nice.
Ooh.
Oh, I only got a
I
3.
think you're looking
that's-
at mine,
never
love.
mind.
I got the
Yeah,
critical.
Okay.
top
As
so rapidly.
that's gonna cost you 3 willpower.
Mm-hmm.
Lilith got a crit, so you regain 1 willpower. And Morningstar has
Five.
at least got a
4, rather.
a 4 on 5 dice. Nice.
I'm
So
really not rolling well today, am I?
yeah, this between our bot and that other dice roller, it has not been a good day for dice. So that's gonna cost you, I think that's 1 willpower to resist. Did anybody trauma?
No.
Okay. All right. So the it feels like a really powerful another reality bending spell just hit all of you. That reality bending was so powerful that Seth and I just switched places.
You did.
Wow. That's some wild magic.
Oh, it'll switch back like it did that one time. I bet.
Yeah, that's super
Yeah.
weird.
I'm not prepared for the responsibility of GMing. I've prepared nothing.
Okay. Well, we're gonna continue like this until it switches back. So, gonna I'm sexy. Okay. So, yeah, like I said, you feel this wave of powerful unreality magic pass over you, and you watch the boat melt out of existence, leaving a giant gap in the middle of your ice. The ship and all of its inhabitants are gone.
Well,
Somebody threw a rock. I don't think it's really gone.
You could throw a rock.
Okay, I'll pick up some more of that obsidian off the ground and throw it.
All right, yeah. You throw it, and it splashes into the water in the middle of the empty spot. The two gents, the dead one and the not quite dead one, are still here though.
Get him in the brain, Elise.
I already tried.
I think now that that spell is off of him, that was what was keeping you out.
So shall I have another attempt wriggling into his mind?
Yes, please.
It's up to the GM. Oh wait, that's me. Yeah. What do you want to roll for that?
Well, I suppose study is the designated
Okay.
role for
Sounds good.
that particular ability. Less. Well, I don't really want to physically take him over because there's really no purpose in doing that.
Gotcha. Maybe if I
But
turn off
hopefully.
video for a second, it'll. Yeah, you can go ahead and roll that.
All right. Well, hopefully, third time's the charm for a little bit of mind reading. I know I should probably waste willpower and try to up this, but I feel like if I can't get it with 3 dice, then maybe I'm just destined not to get it.
Maybe I'm just bad at magic.
I'm smoking the wrong sort, as I said.
All
Partial
right.
success. Something above a 3. A miracle.
You deserved it. All right. So, okay.
So I'm the GM now. I'm giving you extra points.
Okay. So yeah, you can describe what happens here. What you're looking for.
Well, all right. Elise gets a little bit frustrated at this point, and steps down on the boy with her heeled shoes to hold him in place while she attempts to, this time, lean in and expel the smoke directly into his mouth.
Yep.
Far
That's
too
hot.
close to be anything that, well, doesn't have a sort of sexual energy to it.
All right. Yeah, he can't help but to breathe it in, and it infects his mind and gives you access. What do you want to know?
I want to know what exactly he was doing on that ship.
Training.
Training.
And he's
Training for what purpose?
exceptionally sad. He's crying. And he's literally mouthing the words to you as you hear them in your mind. And he's through tears, babbling. That should have been me up there when they departed. That should have been me and not my sister.
Yes. Well, now I'm even more confused. confused.
He looks down at the gun that you have, and he's like, "It should have been me."
Oh, they shoot 3 people. What did they shoot people for?
You get like a little bit of a flashback to when you were up there on the deck. You saw some symbols, but you just assumed that it was part of the underworld that you were seeing. But now that you're thinking about it, it was blood magic sigils. And it looks like it was magic that required sacrifice of 3 people for the magic to activate. Just cries. Should have been me.
Well, I think we could take this one home. Don't worry, darling. I've been learning a bit of blood magic myself. We could certainly sacrifice you to that end at some point.
True. Okay. Anything else you guys want to do before you head back?
There's not much to do. We've
Yeah.
got a boy, Ice, and that's it.
Just push the old priest into the water?
Well, Hollis, do you want his corpse?
Yeah.
Reduce, reuse, recycle.
Awesome. All right. You take
So
your...
we've got one dead body, a statue, and a crying boy. Truly, what a haul. We used to go and collect artifacts.
or whole cruise ships, and now you get a corpse and a crying boy who wants to die.
No.
We'll have to get more information from him eventually.
So whoever had that on your Nightsky Sanctum bingo sheet,
Yep.
you can check that off now.
And whoever had Seth becoming the next GM. Very well done. Yeah, this is super off-putting and weird.
I haven't watched enough of your GMing videos. I'm not prepared.
Yeah, my GMing from the ground up series, they get cut down. They're only like 30 minutes long each. So there's only like an hour and a half of video up there to get caught up to where we're at now. There will not be a
Nice.
GMing from the ground up tomorrow because we'll be playing Animal Crossing. Well, sorry, we'll be playing Wandering Age in Animal Crossing. Yeah, no, Arson did all ice magic.
Ice burns. It burns.
Frostbite.
Yeah.
Yeah. How could we finish our bingo cards? We don't have arson yet.
Well, we do need to draw down the moon because I did mild magic and I don't want us to get red watched.
We best avoid it.
Yeah, sorry about our confusing positions. Discord decided to swap our positions for some odd reason.
Very confusing.
Yeah. Nope.
Nope,
Did not
didn't
work.
help.
Just pretend I'm ruggedly handsome, everyone.
Right. Yep. So yeah, who wants to roll drawing down the moon? I think
It did actually change for a moment there.
oh, did it?
Yes. So whatever you did worked. If you toggled it back off.
It disconnected, yeah.
I'll do it since we're going to be in the graveyard anyway.
Oh,
yeah.
gotta bury a new body.
I gotta bury a new body. I gotta put up a, a graveyard statue of a weird guy on his hands and knees.
Yeah.
Going to yell at us eternally in our minds.
Maybe.
It's alright, I'll figure out a way to lock him out.
Oh, yeah.
And we're still rolling 2.
Yep.
And it's D.
DTM.
Draw. Ooh, my buttons moved. I got the exclamation point, but nothing else. All right, 4 essence and 2 willpower. Cool.
Certainly a good roll.
Yeah, 5 and 1. Feel that wild magic energy get grounded deep into the graveyard.
So I've been drawing boxes in my notebook to tick off for my willpower and essence. And I don't know why, but I got it in my head that we had 9 of each of those things. So I've been functioning with 1 less willpower and 1 less essence.
Well, if you get confused like that on Wandering Age, you'd probably give yourself a benefit. Because you start with 6 energy in that, but you can have a max of 10. So, started at 9, you'd still be up for starting level. Right. So yeah, that was drawing down the moon. So it's time to get fate and reputation for that. Far as fate, let's do 2. It wouldn't have normally been 3, but because it was all like on the water, a very limited group of people were able to see your actions. And for reputation, let's do 3.
Limited group of people, and half of them died.
Did they?
The old man is still alive.
Oh yeah, that's. Oh no, I thought you meant half of all the people that were on the ship. Only 4 people died. Um, let everybody know where they can find us. Then we will go do XP off. Let's start with Gavin, the GM.
Our positions and everything changed, but our pronouns stayed the same, so it works
Oh,
out.
nice. a minor
Um,
win.
yeah. So I am not Gavin, as you might know, but I am the editor and photographer for the Morningstar content. So currently working on some sneaky cheeky behind the scenes stuff that we're going to have up on some additional platforms. But in the meantime, we post every Friday, and we have a nice little treat coming out tomorrow. But yeah, every Friday. I don't have my personal links up yet; they're in the works. And if you want to just check out any of the stuff we do, you can go to any of the links that Morningstar will say.
All right, well, let's hop.
Thank you, not Gavin, for the segue there. Yes, the links that you can go to are the Cytherian, and that's with an underscore between the words on Twitter and Instagram, and without on Facebook. And if you go to those links, you'll get to enjoy my beautiful self in some truly fabulous outfits. Which doesn't actually sound that exciting now that I've said it out loud, but trust me, it's mesmerizing. I can't take my own eyes off of it.
Okay, let's go over to Azelwyn.
Well, you can find me pretty much everywhere under Azalwin, and it's always chaotic, always, always chaotic, always creative, all the time. That's pretty much gonna be my new tagline, I think. You never know what you're gonna get, either everything or nothing. But yeah, if you want to find me anywhere, it's under Azalwin, except for TikTok is under Goddess Azalwin.
Anya?
Yeah, I'm Anya. You can find me on Twitter at Anya T. Moore, and you can find me on Instagram at Menagerie Nest. Normally I do Animal Crossing on Fridays here, but I think I'm gonna switch it up and start playing Breath of the Wild because I haven't played a not Animal Crossing video game in a very long time. So I'm gonna give it a shot and we'll see how it goes. I'm very bad at pressing buttons, so it should be interesting. But yeah, so if you're interested in lovely rolling landscapes, come see Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. And it's going to be so much fun. I've played through the whole thing, but I will not spoil it. Yeah, so that's going to be fun. That'll be Friday. Tomorrow we will be trying out Wandering Age for the very first time, a TTRPG that I made for the hashtag Bundle for Buffalo. I made it very, very quickly. I did a little bit on stream a couple months ago, and then set it aside and almost didn't work on it. And then when we found out the Buffalo bundle was coming out, I was like, okay, I have to get this finished in a weekend. So we have the early access edition of the Bundle for Buffalo Wandering Age, and we're going to be playing that on stream. No, not on stream. I don't know what we're going to be doing, but we're going to do something in Animal Crossing tomorrow. I think we're still determining the extreme specifics. But either way, it's going to be super fun. And sorry about all the technical difficulties today. It's been a one of the craziest nights we've had for that, between the dice bot and the new computers and well, the multiple dice bots, and then the cameras swapping there at the end. It was a real unreality bubble that we had going on today. So
Your chaos.
pure chaos.
Chef just wanted to do an additional shape-shifting flex. Like over Discord.
Does that make me Ribbert?
Aw.
Since you were able to shapeshift
Robert's
me too.
amazing, so yes.
All right. In that case, yeah, please join us at our Discord if you want to learn more information about Wandering Age. Check out the bundle for Buffalo. It is nearly $1,000 worth of indie games for $5. You can give more, but $5 is the minimum that gets you $950, I think, worth of TTRPGs. And that's with I vastly undervalued Wandering Age for that. I put it in for like $3.33. So we don't see any of that. It all goes to the charity. So please go join that bundle. I think it's already at 12, somewhere between 12 and 15% of its $10,000 goal, and it's been out for less than a day. So it will be available until Juneteenth, so June 21st this year. So yeah, you have plenty of time to get it, and otherwise, I think we will see you the next time we see you, probably Friday for Breath of the Wild. So we'll make sure to get that all set up. It was great seeing everybody out today, and thanks for all the new follows and subscriptions. Oh, right on cue. Thank you, NCLWNN. That's Uncle Win. A good name. All right. But yeah, have a great night, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Bye.